going on, fight fans? So, Terence Crawford is sparring or sparred with Andre Ward. Now, the clip of them actually sparring doesn't exist, and it kills me that it does. It kills me that it doesn't exist because I would love to see them actually sparring. They did some kind of shadow sparring, if you will. Is that shadow sparring? Faux sparring, I guess. Air sparring, right? Just to see if they could get through each other's guards or outthink, be able to hypothetically land the punch. And they gave us a little clip of that. But that's it. That's all we got in terms of Terence Crawford and Andre Ward sparring. But the cool thing is that we know that Terence Crawford and Andre Ward sparred, right? Because that is, to put it quite bluntly, a dream matchup that not many people think about, right? Because Andre Ward was usually at the higher weight classes, right? And because he was at those higher weight classes, nobody really thinks about an Andre Ward versus a Crawford dream match. But that is somewhat of a dream match. So to just know that they were sparring, I think that's a really cool thought, right? A really cool thing to know that that thing exists out there. Although we've not been able to see it, we've only seen them do the air sparring, like I mentioned. Now let's talk about quickly Madrimov, right? Madrimov only has about 11 fights, right? I think one was like a no contest or no decision due to a cut. But he has about 7 knockouts, 10 wins. But don't throw your hands in the air like you just don't care just yet, because with those 10 wins, he recently just beat a Hergomov, undefeated, and won the WBA world title. So he's a WBA world champion. So this is not a for nothing fight. Terence Crawford is fighting a guy who's undefeated, who holds about 7 knockouts, who took out Hergomov, which a lot of people thought that Hergomov was going to win this fight because Hergomov has like 27 wins with no losses. So he's very wise beyond his years. Really cool setups, really smart fighter. So it's not just like a throwaway fight where it doesn't matter. It's a fight for a world title. So Terence Crawford is walking into this and he is fighting for a world title. Now keep in mind that WBA world championship was vacant when Madrimov fought for it. That's fine. That is vacant. He didn't win a lineal title. The vacant title was because of Jamal Charlo, of course, but still, he's a world champion. And the cool thing about this is that the WBO interim title will be on the line as well, which basically means that you are the champion in the event that the current actual champion cannot defend his title, which means that you will automatically be the number one contender when in fact that person can defend their title. And who is that person? Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora is currently the WBC and the WBO champion. So with this fight, basically, Terence Crawford would already set himself up to be 3/4 of undisputed at 154, like instantaneously. He will be winning the WBA title, and he will be the mandatory for the WBO title. And because Sebastian Fundora also holds the WBC title, he will be fighting for the WBC title as well. And yes, Sebastian Fundora recently lost, right? He recently lost to by knockout, but he avenged that loss by beating Tim Tszyu. right? Like that's a big win, right? Winning a fight against Tim Tszyu, that kind of puts you right back on the map. He didn't come back and do something and get like a few weak fights just to get himself back up there. He went right for Tim Tszyu, which was a big fight that people wanted to see Jermell Charlo in. So for Tim Tszyu to fight for Sebastian Fundora and for Sebastian Fundora to win that fight is actually pretty powerful, showing that Sebastian Fundora is pretty much has started his bounce back already. So that to me is the bigger fight on the horizon for Terence Crawford at 154. And then of course he would just have to go and pick up the IBF belt, which would just be so basically in 3 fights, including the Madrimov fight, Terence Crawford can become undisputed again, becoming a 3-division undisputed champion, which is in the 4-belt era is essentially unheard of, right? So he could do something pretty huge in the 4-belt era, and he's doing it in crazy divisions, right? He's not doing it in the lower divisions where it might seem a little bit easier, right? In terms of the level of competition and like the prestigious divisions. He's doing it at 147, at 154, and who knows how high he's going to go. He also did it at 140, so 140, 147, 154, right? So that's the cool thing. Now, does Madrimov have a chance of beating Crawford? I don't think so. Because when we're talking about Crawford, we're actually talking about one of the best boxers to ever lace up the gloves, to be quite honest. So I love the whole sparring Andre Ward. I think that that's going to continue to help him get better and like keep playing that chess game at the highest level, the way Terence Crawford does it. And I can't wait for this fight because this will set the tone for the rest of his 154 run. Can he hang at 154? He doesn't even know what not knocking somebody out is for a while, right? He's been knocking people out. All of Terence Crawford's punches, they count, right? He goes in there with harsh intentions. He wants to get you out of there. So is he gonna get a knockout on Madrimov? That would be pretty insane if he does do that and continue his knockout streak going into 154. And honestly, I truly believe that he is probably one of, if not the best finisher in boxing right now. When he hurts you, he can get you out of there, right? A lot of people would say Tank is the best finisher. I think Tank is probably the best one-punch knockout artist right now. But in terms of when you see blood and you take people out, I think Terence Crawford is a person that's holding that title in my mind right now in boxing. So let's see if he does that, if he carries that over to 154. Is this going to be easy for him? I think it is going to be easy. A lot of people are saying that it's not going to be easy because of Madrimov's kind of weird style and how his accuracy and kind of craftiness in there. But I think that Terence Crawford is way more higher leveled than Madrimov. And I think he will set the tone. And hopefully the next fight is Sebastian Fundora. Because imagine Crawford versus Sebastian Fundora, like the tall, lanky Sebastian Fundora versus Terence Crawford. I think that just will be a sight to see, and to see how Terence Crawford deals with all of that stuff, right? Because Sebastian Fundora is the modern day Paul Williams, in my opinion, right? He's the long, lanky guy that doesn't want to fight like he's a long, lanky guy. He's a long, lanky guy that wants to fight like he's Paul Williams. Like Paul Williams never used his reach advantage ever. He fought like freaking Mike Tyson. He had Mike Tyson arms, even though they have super long arms. So this is going to be an interesting fight. That's the fight that I'm looking forward to. So this fight has to end with Crawford winning so that we can start seeing that fight, so we can start moving into that fight. I think that will be super entertaining. I don't know. A lot of people might not think that, but I do believe that. And then we could potentially start setting up a Crawford Canelo. It's looking like Canelo's shortlist is Chris Eubank Jr. and Edgar Berlanga, I think. Those two guys. Edgar Berlanga, Chris Eubank Jr., but it's looking more and more like it's going to be Chris Eubank Jr., and nobody wants to see that. We want a Benavidez fight. I want a Crawford and Benavidez fight, but we want a Benavidez fight more than anything. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, so the Crawford and Canelo thing, maybe that doesn't happen yet. So hopefully Crawford can collect the belts at 154 and become undisputed in 3 divisions like a beast. Like a beast. Anyways, that's all. I just wanted to talk on a little bit on that fight that's coming up and kind of reference the Andre Ward sparring session, because I think that is just the concept of it is so cool, that Andre Ward and Terence Crawford fought, because they were beasts. It always looked like, you know, Terence Crawford looks almost undefeatable, and Andre Ward was undefeatable, right, throughout his entire reign. So cool. That's such a cool concept to know that they're fighting, and I can't wait for the Madrimov fight, because like this tone setting for Crawford. Anyways, until the next one, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section about this fight. Do you think Terence Crawford should have taken a different fight? Do you think this is the correct path for him to become undisputed? And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.